Okay, so passion versus violence. So a thing I said before is BDSM, everything in BDSM is a mimicry of what's real. It's not real. It's not what's really what people really want, that's here, that's out, visceral here in life. BDSM is a poor mimicry of all of these things. It's like people are trying to reach for something they can't really grasp, and most of it has been warped by trauma. So it gets stuck in this BDSM bubble, and people misconstrue things. So let's say people want passion, right? Passion was what's real, visceral out here in the world outside of BDSM. In BDSM, passion is mimicked through violence. Okay, so it is a mimicry of violence. It's like BDSM is always on the outside looking in and trying to explain what's happening. It's like this is how I explain it. It's like BDSM is looking through a window. It's outside a window and it's looking in on something beautiful and healthy, but doesn't is not connected to it because it's on the outside. Right? It's looking through this glass, trying to make sense of it, but doesn't have the tools because it's not actually connected to it. It's on the outside. So it is trying to mimic what it sees from an outside perspective that's not connected to what's happening. And that's where the damage happens because BDSM is a disconnected perspective and a warped view on what this concept is because there isn't an actual connection. There's no connection here. It's a disconnect, okay? BDSM ultimately is a disconnect, trying to mimic something. So out here is passion. A lot of here, what BDSM is trying to mimic is community and connection and love. None of those things exist here. Okay, so it's not a community, it's a cult. It's not connection, it's dissociation and disconnect. And it's not love, it's harm. Okay? So when from the outside in someone sees passion, right? Let's give an example. Let's say my partner, so let's say from the outside, right? Someone's BDSM is looking from the outside in through the window and see my partner, they grab me and they kiss me and they squeeze me tight. Now, what they're not seeing is what's built up from that, right? We have consent in place. There have been communications and conversations on, is this safe for me to do? Is it okay? There's check-ins. There's all sorts of things that happen for this beautiful passionate embrace to happen first. That is what passion is. It's beautiful. It's this eruption of love, and it's tenderness because they're not hurting me. It's delicate. It's this beautiful, loving. I'm getting wrapped up in their love. From the outside here, right? Because there's no connection. Remember, there's no connection. It's perspective from the outside in. If looking from the outside in, BDSM, like the perspectives of that BDSM is built on, and I'm speaking of BDSM as an entity right now, and that's just the fastest way to express all that culminates in BDSM. But BDSM looks at it and sees like it looks rough. No, it wasn't. It was this passionate embrace. So the interpretation is, I'm going to grab you, and I'm going to hold you. But there's no connection. It doesn't understand what it saw. It just saw actions and interpreted it in its own perspective. So what my partner's beautiful, tender, loving embrace of me turns into in BDSM into violent ripping forward, grasping to the point of pain, and saying something dominating. Okay? So there's just such a massive difference, and that's the easiest way I can explain it. But if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'm more than happy to express more. So the way things are warped into BDSM are based on the lack of connection. Where does the lack of connection come from? Again, massive trauma, generational trauma, and then you have to also, and societal trauma on top of that. There's so many elements that contribute to this, and BDSM is based foundationally off of the sexualization of slavery, which is white supremacy. It's very patriarchal, and so you have a lot of those warped perspectives these perspectives are born from absolute disconnect. They're also born from unmanaged narcissism or unmanaged psychopathic behavior, etc. Unmanaged things. Again, NPD on its own is not something to like villainize. That's not what I'm doing. I'm talking about what's unmanaged. There are plenty of people with NPD who really are working on themselves, but there are those who don't, and that's what I'm talking about, unmanaged things. So it's really important to understand that the perspective of BDSM is not really connected with reality. It's just not. And unfortunately, people get brought into these worlds thinking that they're going to get what's here. And again, a lot of it's trauma perspective. There's a lot of abandonment and a lot of lack that they didn't have the connection with this. So there are many people in BDSM who don't know what this feels like. So, and then you're dealing with the base level. This is a friggin' cult, so it's preying on everybody in there and like sucking people in with the promise that they're going to get this, but they're not. They're actually just going to get exploited by an entire paradigm, and it's a cycle that's just feeding on itself and others. So, hope this helps people stay free from BDSM.